Okay, ladies, what's up, YouTube? This is Miss Delon coming at you with some hot topics that I kind of want to throw out there. Number one, the topic I will be talking about today is life, love, freedom, and relationship. Let me turn this radio off. Listen to some Shawnees. Anyway, so I'm having some very candid conversations with you guys about freedom. This is the first hot topic, freedom to be who you are. I know a lot of times growing up in middle school, high school, even early part of college, I was known as very indifferent. Basically, what I mean by that is I was very unique. I was my own person. I had my own thoughts, my own ideas, and I didn't want to be like anybody else. I've always strived to be who I was and be the best me. You get caught up in cliques, growing up in high school, you get caught up in um, things that people are mainly into, like gossiping. You just get into it, whether you try or try not to. You just find yourself in other people's conversations. And a lot of times, conversations was about me. But one thing I found out about earlier on in my maybe early 20s, and I was in college, is that when people are constantly talking about you to other people, it only means that you're important to them. If people are constantly saying bad things and you're constantly on their mind, you're constantly in their conversations, you're all they ever talk about is because you're important. Remember that. Number two, I want to talk about how in high school, I was kind of like, um, I was into who I was, I embraced who I was, but yet and still, um, I felt like I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in nowhere. I had friends, I had acquaintances, associates, but I still just felt like I did not fit in. Um, I was just very different growing up. Kind of like an odd man out, an odd body, or whatever you want to call it. But I was just always different. I stood out in the crowd. Um, I dared to be different. One thing, some people say you can. I could have been a follower lots of times, but when it came to just being me and trying to be original as possible, I didn't need help with that. I knew how to be myself, even though sometimes I wasn't comfortable with being myself. I still tried to stay true to me, even though I was uncomfortable doing it. It was the most uncomfortable feeling trying to be me, but at least in that I tried to still understand me and understand who I was through God, through Jesus Christ. I tried to understand who I was. So on a journey of self-discovery, trying to find who I was as an individual, and that was one of the most difficult things because people can challenge who you are. They can very well challenge who you are as an individual, and how well you think you know you is predetermined on what others may think of you or what they thought of you, because once they get to know you they may judge you first, but once they get to know you they'd be like, with me, they'd be like, oh, she's cool, she's a home girl, or she's a down chick, once they get to know you. But beforehand it's just preconceived notions of what they think of you or who they think that you are, which is completely false because they haven't gotten to know you yet. So how could they know you, but yet and still they know who you are, but it's you that don't know who you are. By their preconceived notions, what they've discovered about you while getting to know you, they either become jealous or they become afraid because they're threatened by who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you can't, of course, voice who you are yet. And that's kind of what happened to me growing up. I couldn't voice who I was, nor did I have much of an opinion of who I was because I kind of lost who I was. At 6, I was very self confident, very aware of my surroundings, of who I was as a kid, as an individual. I knew I wanted to be an actress. That was pretty much what I wanted to do. In that, I didn't talk about a lot of young girls. You talk about marriage, you talk about kids. It was always television. It was always the movies. It was always some type of acting, is what I've always talked about since I was a kid. And that dream actually was fulfilled for me. So, to make a long story short, still didn't know who I was, and still yet on this journey of self discovery. And what I've come to find out about myself is I like me. I like who I am. If I had to do me all over again, I would, because I like who I've become through all the obstacles, all the struggles, all the pain, heartache, tears, being depressed, being happy, being in my medium. I found who I am in God. Through Jesus Christ, I found who I am, and I'm still yet learning and developing who I am as an individual. And if that comes off like, some people may come off cocky or, a little arrogant, but it's not. It's just me being humble and me telling me how I've learned humility and learning about myself. Um, like I said, people can judge you on preconceived notions. They don't know who you are really as an individual. They don't they cannot fathom who you are because they're still discovering who they are, if that makes sense. So they're just judging off of, I guess, either jealousy, envy, or feeling that you're more important than them. Because if they're constantly talking about you behind your back, to your face, whatever, you are, and know that you are very important. And don't let no one downplay who they think that you are. Let them know who you are. Tell them, this is who I am. This is what I want to be in life. Whether it's an engineer, whether it's a painter, actor, dancer, whatever. This is who I am. This is what I want to be in life. This is who I've discovered that I'm good, what I'm good at.